Hi, welcome to Guided Meditation and Mindful Movement with Leo Gray on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. Visit us on the web at urbanyoga.org or on Facebook at Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. And there you can check out the schedule of what's operating. It can change from month to month. And you can stop by the tip jar to make donations. All the online classes, live on Zoom and later on YouTube, are donation based. So we're shifting things a bit for the guided meditation and mindful movement, and we're just going to be doing some breath work here tonight and maybe for a little while now. And we'll see how that goes. Because that's what's needed by the community, by those attending at this time slot. So that's all we're going to do tonight is sit and do some breathing. And I say sit, you're welcome to do the breath from whatever posture works for you. If sitting's not comfortable, you can lie down, whatever you like. If you need to stand and stretch your legs, go ahead. I'm the only one on the video, so it doesn't matter what you do. So if you want to, you can close your eyes. And to begin, just like we begin in the practice that would include movement, we just focus on the breath to get started. After all, that's all it takes to start changing the breath. Just paying attention to it invites it to get deeper, to get slower. Observe the movements of your breath and the sensations that those movements bring. Take in the contact with the ground, whatever you're sitting on, maybe your mat, maybe you don't have a mat, maybe you're in a chair. I'm sitting on blocks, whatever you're sitting or lying on, just notice it, take in however it is registering to your sense of touch, your sense of grounding. And to stake out our space, take in the rest of your surroundings in whatever ways they're reaching your senses, situating yourself in the space you've chosen to practice today. Scan your body to take in whatever sensations are there. Even though this won't be a movement practice, it's important to notice what's going on in your body, especially any unpleasant sensations. If there's stiffness, if there's soreness, even though we'll be mostly still here, you're always welcome to do what you need to do to take care of what's going on in your body. So maybe that's changing position. Remain comfortable. It's not about getting comfortable and then freezing, sitting still. And even though we won't be doing a movement practice, just as I say, for movement practices, you're welcome to skip or modify any part of this practice because yes, that applies also to breathing exercises. Pranayama, which just means breathwork or breathing exercises or the practice of breathwork. It's one of the 8 limbs of yoga, the poses and postures, the movements, the asana, that's another. Often when we say yoga, people just think about the movements and poses, but it's just part of what yoga all is. Breath, it also means life, energy, chi, everything in Sanskrit has more than one meaning. And before some others, we'll do the usual one that I do at the start of a practice after the introductory talking, is to take 3 breaths. We also call them sometimes clearing breaths. Breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth with a sigh, like blowing off steam. you have your eyes closed, maybe you don't. You can do whatever you want. You can keep your eyes closed throughout this whole practice if you like, or open them anytime. I may just keep my try that and see how it goes. The way I have things set up, my Zoom is running so that if a participant should leave the class, my Zoom will make a little sound at me. So if I lose anybody unexpectedly, I'll know to open an eye and take a peek and maybe text to see if they're trying to get back in, if they don't come back right away. So first we're going to just observe the breath with some counting. So without directing your breath, just start to count at a kind of a regular pace. How long is your inhale and how long is your exhale? And it doesn't matter what pace you count at as long as you're using the same pace to count both. We'll do it for a few breaths because maybe they're not all the same. We're not directing interchange, just see how long is each inhale and how long is each exhale. And I just was stifling a yawn. If a yawn wants to creep in or a cough or a sneeze or anything else, just let it happen. It's a funny habit. I have no need to stifle yawn anyway, knowing I'm being recorded. You saw me make a funny face instead of yawning. Now, if the count of your inhale and exhale are not the same, see if you can lengthen the shorter one so that they are the same. And if they are already at the same count, lengthen each one so that they're a little longer, but still the same. Just by one, making each inhale and each exhale one count longer. And if they weren't equal and they equalized, you can then, as the next phase, lengthen both the inhale and the exhale by one count. Taking a few breaths at this new rate. After your next exhale, we're going to lengthen each breath again. Each inhale by one count and each exhale by one count. So they remain the same, both get long. And taking a few breaths at this new count. I'm deliberately not telling you what count to go to. We started in different places, maybe, it doesn't matter. No goal, just a direction of deepening, lengthening the count. And again, let's add one to the next round and take a few at that pace. And if you get to a point where it's not comfortable to make your breath longer, continue breathing at the count where that happens. And if you need to subtract and shorten it a little bit to remain comfortable, do so. Aiming just to keep the inhales and exhales at about the same length, at the same count. After the next exhale, see if you can add one again. And if not, just continue at the number you're at. Few breaths. Let's see about one more time, lengthening by one count, each exhale, each inhale and exhale. Or breathing through out, you should peak on the lengthening process, that's fine. After your next counted exhale, just let your breath come into its own rhythm without counting or directing it. And just observe how that feels. I'm shifting around, changing position because it really exists to take care of your body, listen to what it wants. So no matter what numbers you did, your breath is longer now than when we started that exercise. And as people wonder, I'll share that I was originally counting 3 for each inhale and exhale. They were even to start, and I worked up to 9. Just in case somebody wondered. With these deeper breaths, we'll take another exercise, another way of looking at the breath, which also leads to a deepening of the breath. So this one, it involves counting, but not counting in the sense that we just did of changing the count. So one way we look at the breath is what's called free breath. It has to do with the parts of the body where you feel your breath. So as we inhale, the diaphragm moves, the lungs feel the inhale first in the belly, and then in the ribs, and then in the chest. And then as we exhale, we feel the air coming out from the chest, and the ribs, and then the belly. So if you want to, you can rest your hands on your torso there, spread out, because there's 3 areas and only 2 hands, right? So, and as you breathe in and out, just think of each region, maybe naming them in your head. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. You can space those words out as much as you want. Maybe you're taking deeper, slower breaths than what my sample recitation there indicated. Maybe it's more like belly, ribs, chest, whatever pace works for you. Make sure the breath is flowing continuously. So in other words, we don't want to do 3 inhales and 3 exhales. It's one continuous one, just observing it in maybe segments isn't the right word, observing the different areas, how they move as the air moves in and out. Inhaling to belly, to ribs, to chest, exhaling from chest to ribs, to belly. I said that wrong. From and ribs and belly. Either way. And of course, I'm faking. I can't talk and inhale at the same time. So if your eyes aren't closed and looking at my torso, I'm simulating the way my belly, chest, and ribs would move if I was inhaling. Let's do a couple more rounds with our 3-part breath. After the next exhale, if you've had your hands on your torso, you can let them go where they want. Maybe you want to keep them there. And just let your breath come to its own rhythm again, without direction. Count. And see how that feels. Just observing. Does it feel deeper than the breathing you were doing after the first exercise? And there are no wrong answers. Even the answer might be, I don't know, I can't tell, I'm not sure. That's fine. It's more important, the question. And next we're going to do alternate nostril breath, which is, in Sanskrit is called nadi shodhana. And this involves using your hand. We're going to use our hands to close one nostril at a time while we breathe out another one. So here's a practical note. If you've got any congestion going on in the nose, any sniffle or anything like that going on, go blow your nose before you do this. It just makes it easier. We were doing this when I did yoga teacher training in Boston in the wintertime, and there was a lot of tissues and stuff. So a common way to do this, and you don't have to do this, I find it's helpful, and it might seem silly at first if you haven't done it. As I said, we're going to close one nostril and then the other. And that's just a simple way to do this is to take these 2 fingers, your index and middle finger, and rest them between your eyebrows. This is why I took my glasses off. And it's just a way of keeping your hand in the same position while you close one nostril and the other. So you don't have to put your fingers up there if you don't want to, but it's a common thing that we do. So you're going to close your right nostril with your thumb. I should have said that, yeah. Use your right hand so we're on the same page here. So I'm not directing you to do the impossible. See, right hand, good. So press the thumb to close the right nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Close the left and open the right. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Inhale. Close left, open right, and exhale. Inhale. Close right, open left, exhale. Inhale. Close left, open right, and exhale. Now I'm gonna just say switch instead of close and open. Inhale. Switch, exhale. Inhale. Switch, exhale. Inhale. Switch, exhale. Do one more time. Inhale. Switch, exhale. 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 You can let your hand down. You can let your breathing find its own rhythm. You can reposition anything you need to. Notice how this breath feels. And I'll say a little bit more about Shodhana. We observe how your breath feels, and not just your breath. How does your body feel? How does your mind feel? Because the reason we do this funny breathing, this Nadi Shodhana, alternate breathing, is that it balances the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems, sort of equalizes things in the brain. So there's your nervous system reacts to things, and there's the nervous system that responds to direction from your conscious mind. Somehow, this method of breathing brings those two aspects of the brain into a more harmonious state. So these are a few breathing exercises that we can do, and you can do these as we did them in a sequence. You can do one of them at a time, and you can do them anywhere. You don't have to set aside a certain amount of time to do it. You can take a little break during your day to pay attention to your breath and think about increasing, because as the words say, prana is breath and it's also life. Breath is life. It brings life. It's part of our, respiration. It's not just breathing. Breathing helps us turn food into energy, helps us continue living this wonderful thing we call life. So that's all for now, a short segment for tonight. And as the weeks go on, maybe we'll do some longer ones, we'll do some different ones, we'll mix things up. Thank you for joining me to share this practice. Light within me sees and honors the same one. Namaste.
Thank you, Leo. Namaste.